stresses you. And that comes to my third principle. One Precious Life, individualized program, third principle. I don't want you for the rest of your life. I think I am a psychiatrist. Betsy, I didn't say that, did I? I didn't say that out loud, did I? All right, no. I believe in short-term intervention, long-term result. And the way long-term result happens the best is if I can teach you in my office things you can take home with you. Wouldn't that be a good thing? I thought, yes, I said to myself. I hate it when I don't answer when I talk to myself. My daddy always said, I'd say, Daddy, you're talking to yourself. He said, I have to talk to somebody intelligent every once in a while. But you always know you can use it, any of you talk to yourselves. Biofeedback, good science, very effective. It works scientifically and it works emotionally because you can see it when it's happening and you know because I'm going to teach you what stress does to your body, your poor heart, you'll say. And you'll want to give it relief. And then you take it slowly to your home. All right. I accept individual. I do a group coaching. I've done that primarily in a work setting. I've coached a brand new leadership team, 3 people promoted all at the same time. One day somebody said, you're our leaders. Congratulations. Work together. Whoa. I learned that at the hospital. You know what we always did? We took the best nurse, we'll start with nursing, took the best nurse on the floor. My God, she could first stick always. Never had to draw 3 or 4 times, you stick you 3 or 4 times. Best. We said, the best. You will be our new leader. Doesn't always work. Is that what you said? That's the thing. I'll pay you a quarter at the end of the show. Doesn't work, but that's what we do. And then they're not happy. Oh, well, I forgot the part where we don't give them any training at all. We just say, because most people believe leadership is something anyone can do. Management, that's not a real thing. I'm here to tell you, yeah, it's a skill set. And if you don't like it, don't do it. But I worked with this group, 3 women, and we went through personality profiles, we practiced, we did all of this stuff, and at the end, they said thank you. And individually, working with them on supervisory skills doesn't happen overnight, and I don't try to pretend that it does. I love working with that situation, and I would welcome the opportunity to do so in the organization. Unlike individual coaching, I don't want somebody to say, come in, lecture them, go away. No, I can't do that. And it's not fair. It's sort of the continuation of the same old, same old. Now you're educated. Stop whining. Go away and do whatever it is that managers are supposed to do. Do I get a nod any place in this row over here? I sort of see nods wanting to happen. Yeah, you came up the hard way, didn't you? Even if you're young. Somebody threw you in a management spot and said, congratulations. You said, I'd love to help. And if you just want to talk to me on the phone, freebie for everybody in this room tonight, you have a sticky management situation. Last one I worked with was, I have to fire someone. Oh my God. 2 things I never got used to. The CEO, getting up in front of people and speaking, and firing people. Never gets easy. But if you talk it through with someone, and you develop a little script, you do some what-if scenarios. What if it's violent, comes across the desk at me? What if she cries? Okay. And adults and children I work with children. I love little, I have a 4-year-old granddaughter. And I love kids. So I got some extra training in the Heart Math program. I can work with kids as young as 4 years old because guess what? We stress out our 4-year-olds. What are we thinking? Right? Kids, 4 years old. There's in Manhattan, there's a nursery school called Ivy League. My God, what are you thinking? So kids get stressed, but also test anxiety, social issues. You have a bully or you have someone being bullied. I will work with you on that, and parent coaching hasn't really happened in Ithaca, and I'm sad for that, because remember, my vision was young women who, like me, I was a single mom, 3 kids, full-time job. And now you guys won't do this to me, so I'll tell you, and then you won't for sure. Usually when I'm up in front of audiences like this, and it's time for question and answer, somebody will raise their hand and they'll say, Bonnie, you had it all. You were a high-powered CEO, and you had a family. You had it all. To which I replied very calmly after 1 or 2 deep breaths, I wish at the time I'd known I had it all, I would have enjoyed it more. And one thing I will not do is to go, I speak with graduate students quite a bit, and graduate students, I will not tell them it's easy, because it's not. I wouldn't have traded either role. Remember my identity crisis, not a mom, not a CEO. I wouldn't have traded it for anything. But if you're struggling, now I was in a town where I had family, kids these days, people, young people, my girls, Houston, Memphis, Leesburg, Virginia. I'm not there. I'm not. So when they have their kids, will I show up for the big event? I did. I have 1 granddaughter. But that's not the same as having your grandma, as I had lived down the street. Grandma, baby won't nurse. What am I going to do? They don't have anybody like that. So part of that coaching is finding a network, because we can be network for each other. I believe that's true. Oh, I have some of the Kimochi. Have you heard of Kimochi? You've heard of emotional intelligence, right? Mm-hmm. Emotional intelligence. That means how you are with people, how you get along with folks, is a bigger indicator of success at an earlier age than IQ by far. Right? So if you really want to do something with your child, don't send them to Ivy League nursery school. Teach them emotional intelligence. And again, my role is not to bring your child in and raise it for you using any of these methods. My role is to educate the parent. Bring the kid in, we'll play together. And it works, it does. I had my granddaughter, quick story, personal story. I don't see her very often, so we Skype. You know what Skype is, on TV, you see your whatever on the other end. I was there when her other grandmother, bless her heart, her other grandmother was there, was on Skyping with our granddaughter. And I'm working at it, and they said, Annika, sit in the chair and talk to Grandma. She's on, and it's her birthday. So Annika dutifully gets up in the chair. She looked like she was going to be hung. She sits there. She says, happy birthday, Grandma Marion. Can I go now? So I said, when I Skype, there will not be, go sit in the chair and talk to Grandma. she can say hi-bye, that's fine with me. I don't want it to feel like punishment. Last night, or night before last, I Skyped with her 45 minutes. Because she says, Grandma, get down here and get in this tent. That's what iPads were made for, weren't they? Okay, here I go. In the tent, we played. Just played. She thinks I'm 4. That's okay with me. All right, we have Kimochi in the back sitting there by Ruth Ann, who's minding the store.
And video.
That's Kimochi. And it talks about feelings. Right, you pull them out and you talk about this is what sad looks like. And my friend who does research, not at Cornell, but at a different place, he says he's done research on teenagers. And he said, Bonnie, have you been in a high school cafeteria lately? No, can't say as I have. He said, well, it's not like it was when we went to school. I said, really? I said, no, it's quiet. Quiet? No food throwing, no yelling, no? I said, yeah, they sit at the table and text each other across the right. And so he wanted to study the end result of that behavior, and it's this, very important for employers. When you put a face up on a screen like this, and you say, what is that person feeling? They have no idea. They don't recognize facial expression. And his study is about to be published. It's very valid, very statistically valid. Big difference in the group coming up now. And what do you think it's going to be like? If you're in a situation, I can't even name a job where it wouldn't be important to know. I don't do faces, not in public. Change. I thought you were going getting bored with my single singing. Yes, what a ride. And when I forget to be grateful, I cry when I read this out loud. So could I impose on you to just read that for a minute? Can you see? On the days when I say, I had a brain tumor, I had to be on steroids, now I'm fat. I pull that letter out and I read it again. When I have a day when I say, I had a brain tumor and I cannot remember people anymore. I used to be really good with names and faces. Walked through the medical center and knew everybody by the first name, and we called each other by our first names. Can't do that anymore. I can't run, I was a runner. And then, turn the slide please. If my surgeon hadn't done what he did, I would not have seen my mother turn 90 years old. Now forgive me, because this does happen. I'll turn my back so you wouldn't look at me. My daddy died in that 10-year period, and I sat on his bed, and I was able to bring him home, because he wanted to go home and die. And I sat on the edge of the bed, and he explained to me his childhood, what happened to him when he was growing up. We never talked about it. And it was so important because it explained my childhood. It explained how he disciplined the things that were important for me to know. I sat on the edge of his bed and passed. I watched my kids grow up, find what I really, really hope will be their lifetime committed partnership. My Carolyn, my Lane, the youngest, the one whose hair was cut by our dear friend Debbie. She's let me grow now, Debbie. I would not have seen any of those things met those wonderful young men. Friends in both Jersey City and Ithaca. People who are now close to me because I've lost track of a lot of my old friends, my old Bonnie Howell CEO friends. Not that we wouldn't still be friends, and I'm hoping to make that happen, but in Jersey City and here, new people. I got a chance to write a book, and I was there when my granddaughter was born. Yeah, genetic hats. I don't wear hats myself, but that meant everything, didn't it? And then I say, Bobby, you're fat, you can't remember stuff. Remember that. In closing, I'd just like to say that, yeah, maybe some would say I learned about one precious life the hard way, because there's nothing like somebody saying to you, I'll do everything I can. You'll be on the OR schedule on Tuesday. Go home, get your affairs in order. One precious life. Yeah, that's the hard way, but what a wonderful gift. My daughter was there with me when he said those words. My Carolyn. A bond that is different than any bond we ever had before. And my goal, one person at a time, as you now say at the medical center, right? One person at a time. I didn't steal that from you, but it's very nice. I like it. My best work, I think, is with people, one-on-one. Always was. I coached as a leader because I know bossing doesn't work. I say, if you think you're in charge and you're authoritarian and you know you're in charge because you tell them so every day, sometimes you might want to turn around and see if anybody's following. Because if they're not, and I'll also, they're on the front line. They should be telling you what they need. You shouldn't be telling them how to do it. Isn't that so? Yeah. A lot of people do that. And if I can work with those people, I will. Tell them, can't do it that way. That's what Stepping Stones is all about. Short-term intervention, long-term results. And my favorite of all my little sayings, you don't have to do it alone. You don't. It's okay. There's no shame in reaching out for help. I have a quiet little office way down the end of Tioga Street. You can sneak in there after hours if you want, because my hours are whatever we say they are, only by appointment. Now, that's the end, isn't it, Deb? Let's see if you can make one more go.
Yeah.
That's the end. You did great work. I have to tell you, housekeeping, just because you showed it, is this. I wasn't Bonnie Howell, CEO of Cuba Medical Center on Monday morning, Tuesday morning, Wednesday, you get the picture. I was Bonnie Howell, CEO, always. If I went out to my kids stopped shopping with me because every time I wanted to go to Wegmans, it took us half a day to get through because people would stop me and say, you know, I was in the emergency room the other night. And blah, 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 blah. So it became my identity. And I walked around. And I was actually, the advantage of it was this. I'm pretty introverted, pretty shy. I like, you know, just being quietly in my own space with my own peoples. But I put on the Bonnie Howell CEO cloak. And I could be the person I needed to be to fill that role. So if I was invited to Betsy's party, because she's a party girl this weekend, if I was invited to Betsy's party as Bonnie Howell CEO, I had a grand time. Well, she thought I had a grand time anyway. But if she invited me over
as Bonnie Howell. The lady with kids, Bonnie Howell. Oh man, I did not know how to act. And when I left on my way to New Island, it was not only a retirement, it was an identity crisis. And these points that I'm taking off, I open my practice and my heart to people who go through the same thing. And that's the part that I didn't learn in school. That's the experience part of being a coach at this point in my life. Don't worry, I won't take this one out. Then a year, or a little after a year, a little more than a year after I retired on my way to Weewell Island, I had a car accident. I was driving, you all know this area, and it gets the black ice situation. I was traveling Du Bois Road on my way over to Cuba Medical Center for something or another, and I hit the brake at the wrong time, went off the road in black ice, ran into a tree, had to call AAA to come get me. I didn't actually, the guys whose tree I ran into called them. And they took me to CMC. And while I was there, we discovered that I had broken my shoulder and my knee and my ankle.
Oh.
And I thought, my God, this really stinks. I just retired. I'm ready to play golf and do stuff. That's the worst thing that could possibly have happened. But because it's a great emergency department, well worth waiting for. They said, you know, the airbag will go off. I said, yes, it did. Hit you in the head. Yes, it did. Well, maybe just to be on the safe side, we better do a CT scan. Shorten the story down, they found a lemon-sized brain tumor.
Oh.
I had no symptoms. Now, as I look back on it, I can say, yeah, that was probably because of that. But at the time, I had no symptoms. Lemon-sized brain tumor that was discovered because I had a car accident. So I stopped believing in accidents. Now I believe that everything that happens, happens for a reason. And I try to open my heart to, this may seem like this on the surface, but I have to wait and see. Wait and see. I'm sitting in a traffic jam or a long line, like you folks were telling me about Portland. Yeah? Coming here from Portland, running into construction, all those things. I used to be an awful road rage person because I had stuff I needed to do. Now I say, I first I breathe, and I say, I don't know what I missed. While I'm sitting here, I don't know what I missed. I don't beat myself up. I should have gone through Driving around that way because, you know, that'd be better. Don't know what I missed. And it's wonderfully peaceful, the hard way to get it. But anyway, I survived. Yes, I did. I'm standing here and I could be a whole lot worse than I am. There have been times in my life when I've said, you know what, the person who laid down on that operating room table, that person didn't survive. The person who got up from that table, somebody I didn't even know. That's the down days. It changed me physically, mentally, and emotionally. And sometimes, you know how you go back and forth in emotions, feeling sorry for myself. Next slide, ma'am. Then, on top of those things that have happened, I have 3 lovely daughters, 2 of my own and 1 I raised of my brother's who passed away when she was 9 months old. So I have 3 daughters. Can you read what that shirt says, Debbie?
I can't.
And you probably
Oh,
can't.
wait.
Bad girl,
Bad
gone mom.
Gone mom.
Bad girl, gone mom, right? I relish that role. I love that t-shirt. I threatened to wear that to my daughter's wedding, but I didn't. You know how close I came to right there? It's like me, isn't it? I love being in that role. And when the kids went off, and I wasn't the CEO, I didn't know who the heck I was. So I did this famous behavior right here. If you're thinking about it, talk to me, please. Exercise your option to see me for free. The geographical cure. I went for beautiful Cuba Lake. I'm there swimming with my friends in beautiful Cuba Lake, because I swim in it, I don't care what y'all say. And I moved to the greater New York area. Boy, that'll about cure anything that ails you, won't it? Talk about reinventing yourself. Absolutely, I could have done it there, and I did. I wanted to be in Manhattan, but I couldn't afford it, that's the truth. I don't put all the whole truth on those slides, because, you know, it's too worried. I didn't really take a wrong turn, but my finances put me in Jersey City, and I loved it, absolutely loved it. That's a view out my window in the condo. Beautiful place. But I didn't have anything to do. They don't sort of have signs say, wanted, old CEO. Can't play golf for Sikkim. Wants to do something meaningful. So, what do we do when we're in my generation, when we have to reinvent ourselves? Most of you are too young to know the answer to this question. Go back to school. That's what we do, isn't it? Yes. So I did. Yes. We were talking about this earlier. I finished my doctoral degree. I picked up another degree in pastoral counseling because I was raised Southern Baptist. Didn't work out for me. May work out for other people, didn't work out for me. But I'm a very spiritual person. And I wanted to have a counseling degree. And in many ways you can call yourself a counselor if that was the way I chose. I became certified as an integrative life coach, and I'll talk more about that later. I was always interested in hypnotherapy. And because I was in the greater New York area, you can easily take a night course in hypnotherapy. So I did. Don't worry, I can't hypnotize you from here. and get more cookies. And I like the idea of biofeedback, so I was certified in that. I spent my time wisely, didn't make a dime down there, but nevertheless, off we go. Now I'm back in Ithaca. Hello, hello. As part of the sandwich generation. Tell me, you know what sandwich generation is? No. No? All right. See that picture way over there? That's what we all signed up for, right? The good life. Lovely children. I did what I was supposed to do as a Southern Baptist girl. I signed up for that. Raised my kids. I'm done. Oh, not so quickly. Can you make that picture very clear? That's my mother. My lovely mother, 93 years old. And she cannot be by herself anymore, so I'm back in Ithaca because she needs me. If you could see that picture, you'd see that in my mother's face is a German Shepherd dog.
Yeah, we can see that.
Yeah, and what I like to say is, well, I didn't like to be in the sandwich generation, so I hired a dog to watch my mother.
And a good friend. And she loves him, huh?
Well, I mean, that picture, the dog is trying to get her dinner, so not so much. I had to go back because I just lived for the laugh. All right, next slide, ma'am. Back in Ithaca, not as Bonnie Howell CEO, but as Bonnie Howell coach and counselor. Now, you remember that part I said in Ithaca. Did I just tell you that, or did I tell everybody about what you need to be cool in New York City? I just told you that, right? All right, you have to listen again. In New York City, in the greater New York area, you only need two, yes, ma'am? Yonkers. Yay, Yonkers. You will get this. You won't relate to it, but you'll get it. You need two things to be cool in Manhattan. A little dog that fits in your purse. Is that, am I telling the truth?
Yeah. How about in here?
And a coach. A little dog and a coach, a life coach. Everybody has one, so, you know, the big guys like Deepak Chopra, I have, my book is what those of you who sign up for a visit tonight get for free, and I'll autograph it for you. But anyway, people like Deepak, too busy. So we get the, I'll take Deepak. leftover clients any day, right? So I had plenty of clients. Back in Ithaca, I went to a women's networking event. It was a lovely event, but after 10 years being away from Ithaca, I walk in a room at the Holiday Inn, and I know not one single person. Boy, was that hard on me. But where did all my peeps? They're gone. Well, that was strike one. So then we were sitting around, we're having lunch, we're, networking, and decided to go around the room and say what we did. 20 women in the room, 5 of them were coaches. Welcome home. This is that kind of town, isn't it? So, I have to differentiate myself. I don't want to go head to head and say I'm the very best coach in Ithaca, because I may very well not be. I have no idea. But I do know that I have a certain skill set, certain life experience and education that will appeal to some. And all I have to do is find them. So, Ms. Debbie here said, you come here, I'll get my people to come in. I think if I do this kind of thing, maybe I can reinvent myself as Bonnie Howell, coach and counselor. And if any of you have reinvented yourself and you want to give me your best advice, I will listen to it. Bonnie Howell, from consultant to coach. I was CEO, you know about that part. And then the first thing that retired CEOs and others do, if they want to go back to work, is they consult with people. Be a consultant. It's the people who go in, tell you everything that's wrong and what you should do about it, and then leave. I hated it. I had a partner who I worked with in another context, didn't like it. So, I decided from changing big stuff, helping fix organizations, that I could only fix me. And if I was going to have an influence, if I was going to have a calling in this world at this time, it would be helping, don't take this personally, it would be helping you fix you while I fix me, one person at a time. And I have a luxury, the luxury of being old and not having anything to prove, because my kids are through college and all. And I'm at that point in my life that if I'm careful, and I have people who hate me to say this, but I'm going to say it to you all anyway, I want to make a difference, not a fortune. And I apologize if that's offensive. I know everybody's not in that spot, and especially our young people in this day, and I see them, it's heartbreaking to watch. I was kidding about the age group that I never thought would have any interest in letting me coach them. Young men who in college, or just out of college or early in their careers. Rules changed. I'm so old that my mother's generation, if you made it through high school, you made it. That was all you need to do, especially as a woman. You made it through college, and my generation, you're set. That's all you have to do, get your bachelor's degree. That's it. You won. Not these kids. Not that way. That's the luxury of age and experience, of helping people get through things that my kids went through, but maybe not me. And I came to this concept. People will, they'll say, my home life is terrific, but I hate my job. Or, I have a great job, it's the dream job, but because it takes so many hours and all, my home life is falling apart. I never see my kids. And this is the tagline for me and for the evening, I hope. I say to them, if your home life isn't going well, it is affecting your job. I promise you that. And if your career is on the skids, You don't know whether tomorrow may be pink slip or whatever. It's affecting your home life. Yeah. So I tell them, I will coach you if you will understand that you have but one precious life. And I'm not talking about what you believe the hereafter or not. I'm talking about what we're living right now, one precious, connected life. And if they say yes to that question, well, I'd probably coach them anyway and try to convince them that that's true. And I tried it the other way. When I started out, Debbie, I talked to you about this, I did career coaching because I like that. And invariably, people would bring in their family. This was happening in the family. You can't. If people are open with you, the little zones. And my approach in going along with One Precious Life is, you're unique. There's not another one like you in the whole world. Bless your heart. Same with you, yeah, everybody. So I'm not going to give you a cookie cutter approach, even though I make you say, yes, I believe I have one precious life. Beyond that, it's all you. I will work with you, and I will not let go of you unless you want to be let go of, until you found the unique program that works for you. That is my commitment. Individualized program. Debbie, you're doing so well at this.
Is it time?
It is time. So, now, I don't know how I'm doing on time, but Debbie's supposed to give me the sign that it's morning. It's only 12 slides, I promise. Integrated conversational coaching. What is that? By gosh. Integrated conversational coaching means we sit down, one-on-one, and we talk. And it's integrated the way I just told you it was. I don't care if today you want to talk about your career and next week you want to talk about your awful teenage son who you never wanted to begin with. Bless his heart. Oh, bless his heart. You know about that? In the north, when we say, bless his heart, we mean, it's all right, everything's going to be fine. In the south, when they say, bless her heart, that means, and may she die immediately and go straight to, bless her heart. It's a negator. If I say something awful and I say, bless your heart right after it, it's okay. We should develop something like that in the north. We could use one of those negators. You could do that. All right, I digress. Hypnosis. Everybody's seen somebody hypnotized on at least the Ed Sullivan, that's what that's probably not on anymore, it's Betsy. All right, Sarah. You've seen hypnotists on stage before, right? Or on TV or something, hypnotists on stage. They make you run around and bark like a dog or whatever chickens do. Yeah, ridiculous, isn't it? Those people gave us all a bad name. Hypnosis works therapeutically. It works because your conscious mind only holds 12% of what you know, and not even that for very long. The rest of it, Karen, help me if I do the math wrong here. The other 88%, she's my finance person. Don't worry, I tell everybody you were 5 when you started. Didn't I put limits, did I? All right, so 88% subconscious. And in that wonderful subconscious place is everything you ever knew, saw, heard. It's all there. And sometimes